Hello everybody, it's Ocelot, and welcome to part 2 of our OP Rivers of Blood full game guide. And this is the last part of this guide, and in this guide we're going to finish off the Remembrance bosses, and you are going to become Elden Lord. So let's pick up where we left off on part 1. We just finished Fire Giant, now we're going to warp to the Freezing Lake. We're going to be interested in fighting the dragon that's here, Borealis the Freezing Mist. We're just fighting this dragon to level up. So mainly we're after the runes. So go ahead and follow me on screen. Put on your buffs. As you see, the screen turns foggy once the dragon's about to spawn in. Go ahead and stop your horse. Put on your buffs and get ready for the fight. So with Borealis, if you're near her feet, you're going to want to be careful with that stomp as it leaves an area of effect that can build up frostbite. They have a jumping attack that will try to slam down on top of your character. If you're behind Borealis, she'll do a swing with her full body. Sometimes if you're in front of her, she'll also do a shout, which also does an area of effect, frostbite, build up damage. Another move you want to watch out for is when you're relatively far away, she'll start doing a ice breath towards you. It could be a sweeping ice breath from her left to right, or it could be one directly that shoots at your character. Taking down Borealis, we're going to warp back to the Forge of the Giants. Now, I just went into Crumbling from here. I recommend you spend the runes we just acquired. If you do, we're going to be putting 1 point into Vigor next.
Are you prepared to commit a cardinal sin? Very well. Let my hand.
The next boss fight we have is with the Godskin Duo. I skipped the full run to them and I show my character leveling up. If you have not leveled up yet, go ahead and put that 1 point into Vigor. Also, with this extra point, you'll be hitting rune level 150. So if you're interested into PvP, you'll be able to see my recommended stats for an RL 150 character. In preparation for our next fight, go ahead and craft sleep pots and equip them. I like to equip them in the quick slot, which for me is square. I'm on PS5. If you have trouble with this boss fight, keep in mind that you have that summon sign to summon Bernal for help. Now I got lucky here that I was able to sleep them both right next to each other. Don't worry about sleeping them next to each other. You should have enough sleep pots just in case you need to take them out individually. As you can see, I didn't put my buffs on until after they're asleep, and make sure you put on Hellish Brewery when you're not so close to them. Even after they're dead, you can continue to attack their body and you'll still do damage to their health bar. So with the Godskin Duo down, and with their runes and golden runes we have in our inventory, we're going to be putting 1 point into Dexterity and 2 points into Arcane. Level up, I'm going to show up a sped up version of my route to the next Grace. On the way to the next Grace, there's the Dragon Crest Shield Talisman +2. If you didn't pick up the Great Shield Talisman at the beginning of part 1, you can grab this one here in Crumbling Faramazula. So at this next Grace, I recommend that you memorize Lightning Spear. Also, I swapped out the Lord of Blood's Exaltation for the Lightning Scorpion Charm. And you'll also see that I'm going to equip the Gravelstone Seal. So the Lightning Scorpion Charm boosts lightning damage, and the Gravelstone Seal boosts Dragon Cult incantations, which the Lightning Spear is part of that class. Now this is going to put me into heavy load, as you can see. However, we just need to change the gauntlets from the Raging Wolf to the set we get from Bare, the War Surgeon Gloves. So we're clear, we're going to have both seals equipped, one in the left hand, one in the right hand. We're going to cast with the Dragon Seal, but you want the Gravelstone Seal in the offhand. We won't be casting with the Gravelstone Seal, we'll be casting with the Dragon Communion Seal. I always recommend taking down this dragon because it starts off with about a third or a quarter health, so it's relatively easy to take down. Once you take it down, it's going to give you an ancient dragon smithing stone, and just to the southeast of it, there's going to be a ancient dragon somber stone. If we continue forward, the next boss would be the Draconic Tree Sentinel in Maliketh. However, we're going to get the Grace that's near the Draconic Tree Sentinel, and we're going to do a little bit of memorizing spell. So we're going to swap in Ancient Dragon's Lightning Strike and Glintstone Breath. We're going to be doing this because we're going after Placidusax before we continue on with the storyline bosses. So go ahead and memorize Ancient Dragon Lightning Strike, Glintstone Breath. We're also going to swap out the Thorny Crack tier for the Lightning tier. So in our Physic, we'll have the Lightning tier and the Faith tier. Also, make sure that you have the Gravelstone Seal in your offhand. Again, when we cast Ancient Dragon's Lightning Strike, we're going to be casting with the Dragon Communion Seal with the Gravelstone Seal in our offhand. Consume golden runes and or boss remembrances to complete a level. We're going to be putting that level into Arcane. So you're going to start by drinking your Flask of Wondrous Physic. You're going to put on Golden Vow. You're going to walk into the boss fight, and once he aggroes and starts shooting lightning, after his first round of red lightning, that's when I put on Howl of Shabriri. I walk forward, and after the next round of lightning, that's when I fill up my FP. I'll walk forward again, and after another round of red lightning, I hold and charge Ancient Dragon's Lightning Strike and just look at the damage on screen. Once Placidusax starts teleporting, just run to the closest wall. He's going to do a dive at you. Try to avoid the dive. It will not insta-kill you if it does hit you. Heal up right away if you do get hit. He'll do more teleporting and just continue to roll out of the way. He may do red lightning or he may do another attack, but he does telegraph most of his attacks, so just keep an eye on him and watch for him to teleport. Now this is exactly why we kept on running towards the wall. He starts doing the laser attack, but you're behind him. You have complete safety to do a fully charged Ancient Dragon's Lightning Strike and take him down. Once he's down, go ahead and put down 2 points of Dexterity, 2 points in Arcane, and we're going to continue on towards Draconic Tree Sentinel and Maliketh. So for the next fights, let's make sure we're on our regular loadout: Lord of Blood's Exaltation, Rotten Wing Sword Insignia, Millicent's Prosthesis, and Shard of Alexander. Where you don't need the Gravelstone Seal, so we can unequip that. We can put our Raging Wolf Gauntlets back on. As for our Flask of Wondrous Physic, let's make sure that we have the Thorny Crack tier and the Faith Knot Crystal tier. Once you're all set up, let's go after Draconic Tree Sentinel. I recommend just starting off with Corpse Piler on this boss. I just use ADLS just to try it out. With the enemy down, go ahead and warp back to the nearest Grace. We're doing this just to refill our physic so we can fight Maliketh next. For Maliketh, he usually opens up with the jab, side to side swipe, slow jab, and then a downward strike. The downward strike is always going to be your window to attack. Also, when he does the long right to left swipe, that's going to be another window to attack. Watch for when he plunges his claw into the ground, backs up. Watch for his moves. For the most part, they're telegraphed, and just dodge for the most part side to side. For phase 2, take a few steps back, and then you're going to go right a little bit, and after he does his first swipe, just run straight into him and unleash a full Corpse Piler combo. And down goes Maliketh. We're going to be sent to Lanedale Ashen Capital. Once we get there, we're going to level up. Go ahead and put in 1 point into Dexterity and 3 points into Arcane. We have Gideon next. Do not start attacking him until after he says Lord. Once he does, just continue to keep the pressure on him so he doesn't heal or spam his spells at you. Let's pop golden runes and or remembrances so we can complete 2 levels. We're going to be putting 1 point into Dexterity, 1 point into Arcane. Then we're going to be going into the fight with Godfrey, Horah, Loux. So in the Godfrey phase and the Horah, Loux phase, each phase has 2 phases of their own. Both of them have stomp attacks or area of effect attacks. Try to roll through them or jump over them. I usually jump, especially if it's a stomp attack, which leaves an area of effect on the ground. Besides that, just watch for him to slam his hammer into the ground as Godfrey, as that creates a channel of lava on the ground, which you don't want to be in. And that leaves only one main remembrance boss left. However, this next boss on both phases is going to be immune to bleed, so do not have the Lord of Blood's Exaltation equipped. I went with the Ritual Sword Talisman. You can go with that or the Fire Scorpion Charm, or if you want defense, you can go with one of the Dragon Crest Talismans, either the +2 or the Great Shield. Also, I'm going to let you know ahead of time, after the Radagon phase, I switch out the Ritual Sword for the Lightning Scorpion Charm. Also, I'll be equipping the Gravelstone Seal because I'm going to use a lightning attack on Elden Beast. I'll get to that in a second. Let's go ahead and level up. We'll put 2 points into Dexterity, 2 points into Arcane. So here I'm equipping the Gravelstone Seal. Remember to swap out the gloves, the gauntlets for the War Swordsing gloves, so we're not in heavy load. And this is where I'm showing you that I'll swap the Ritual Sword for the Lightning after the Radagon phase. So go ahead and fill up your FP, put on whatever buff you can. I put on Howl, you can put on Golden Vow if you'd like for the extra defense. At the very beginning, I'm going to swap out the Lightning Scorpion Charm in for the Ritual Sword Talisman. This is not completely necessary. It will just boost the lightning damage, but you do not have to do this. Just make sure you have the Gravelstone Seal out and you cast with the Dragon Communion Seal and send it. Here I got lucky and Elden Beast started doing melee attacks. He'll either do this or he'll swim away and go up into the sky and do the rings of light on the ground. If he does melee, just stay near him. If you're not near him while he starts his melee, then he's going to fly up into the sky. If he does, make sure to turn around, as that's going to be the side he's going to appear in. He usually appears on the side opposite the side that he disappears from. And just try to stay as close as possible to him. When he gets to around, I believe, half health or less, that's when he does Elden Stars. When the Elden Stars happens, you can try to dodge it. Me, I was near Elden Beast, so I just kept on attacking him. Keep the pressure up on him. So he's going to put his sword hand up to his left side and then swing to the right. I don't know how to dodge that area of effect attack, so I usually just run away from Elden Beast when I see that. Elden Beast goes down, and that's it. You beat the game. Congratulations. I'm going to show you my leveling up that I do after I beat him, because I'm going to continue on with Remembrance bosses. If you don't want to continue beating Remembrance bosses, thanks for watching the video. Appreciate everybody's support. I appreciate everybody that's been leaving comments. Please like and subscribe. I'm going to be streaming on Twitch soon. Good job. You beat the game. After leveling up, the next thing we're going to do is go into the consecrated snowfields. So warp to the freezing lake side of Grace and head northwest to Castle Sol. We'll be going after Commander Niall. Now he comes with 2 Phantom Banished Knights, one with a dual wielding swords, the other one with a shield. The one with the dual wielding swords, that's the one I usually go after first. As far as Commander Niall goes, he has area of effect attacks with his weapon and with his foot. With his weapon, he'll do what looks like a cyclone attack, and with his foot, he'll do a slam down and or he'll do a leaping attack. Usually he follows up these leaping attacks with jabs with his weapon. Now when he starts charging up like that, that usually means he's going to be doing a running attack at you, but that makes him tired. Unfortunately, he hit me and I wasn't able to take advantage of it, but you have a huge window to attack him once he's done with that attack. So he doesn't have a complicated moveset. You just have to be careful with his area of effect attacks and with his leaping attack and the follow-up to the leaping attack. Down goes Commander Niall with his runes and popping golden runes. We're going to put 1 point into Arcane. We're going to head north to the lift and pick up the first half of the secret Haligtree Medallion. Next, we're going to make a stop in Liurnia to the village of the Albinaurics and pick up the other half of the medallion.
Please, no. Dear me. We are as merciless brutes. Let the curse take everything.
Next, warp to the Grand Lift of Rolled Side of Grace. Make sure that when you stand on the lift that you choose left or right so you use the secret medallion. Otherwise, you'll just go back up to the mountaintops of the giants. This will take us into the consecrated snowfields. I took out the running portion, but this will be the middle east side of the consecrated snowfields. We're going after Great Worm Theodorix. We're going after him for his runes and to level up. So with Theodorix down, we're going to warp to the inner consecrated snowfield side of Grace. We're going to go from there north into the liturgical town of Ordina. Before we do that though, let's level up. I put 1 point into Dexterity and 1 point into Arcane. You can do this at this Grace or the next Grace, but you're going to want to equip a dagger with Assassin's Gambit. So Assassin's Gambit is going to greatly help us in this next part. There's a puzzle we need to complete before going to the Haligtree. We have to light 4 braziers. But there are Albinaurics around that will be shooting arrows at you. So you want to put on Assassin's Gambit. That will greatly decrease their aggro range. That doesn't mean they won't be able to see you. It just means that they'll aggro a lot later than normal. Now the way to the Haligtree is open. Go ahead and go through the teleporter. It's going to take you to the Haligtree. I largely left out the running towards the next boss. It's pretty much a straight shot. Just be careful with all the enemies as you can fall off the Haligtree. I've fallen off plenty of times trying to get down towards Loretta. The next boss will be Loretta, however. With Loretta, this one does bleed, so you will be able to use your standard loadout. Now that Loretta's down, the path to Malenia is, for the most part, pretty clear. Let's put 2 points into dexterity, and we're going to go straight towards Malenia. So Malenia is least resistant to fire. So we're going to be equipping the Giant Seal in our offhand. And we're still going to be casting with the Dragon Communion Seal. For spells, you want to memorize 2 fire spells. Namely, Giant's Flame Take Thee and Burno Flame. Those are going to be the 2 spells that we use to defeat Malenia. I don't have too much advice to give for Malenia. The best advice I can give is watch out for waterfowl. She usually starts doing it with at least 25% of her health taken down. Sometimes a little less, sometimes more. I try not to be overly aggressive. That doesn't mean I'm telling you not to be overly aggressive, but it doesn't work out for me. When she hasn't done waterfowl in a while, what I'll do is I'll throw a kukri at her. If she doesn't do waterfowl right after that, it may mean that it's safe to attack her. Again, she's pretty much a wild card, and it usually takes me at least a few tries to take her down. I believe I beat her on my 3rd try on this run. I didn't get a chance to do it, but I recommend if you're about to send her to phase 2, if you can, rebuff, put Golden Vow, Palace Shabriri, at least one of them if you can. Once she switches to phase 2, I unlock, run straight under her and to the right. This works for me 9 out of 10 times. If you have ranged attacks, which you do, use them. Giant's Flame Take B, chuck them at her. Fill up your FP, and if you get a chance to throw another one, throw another one. I still haven't been able to recognize when she's going to start doing the clone attack. But once she does start it, I just run away from her. You can dodge her clones, but for the most part, I'm unsuccessful when I try. So I just completely run away from her once I see her go up into the air to start sending out her clones.
Dearest Mikola.
Down goes Malenia,
My brother.
and that is our second to the last remembrance boss.
I'm sorry.
Let's go ahead and level up. I'm going to put
finally
5 points
met
into faith. I'm
my
trying to get to
match.
33 faith. The next remembrance boss is going to be Mohg. To get to Mohg, there's a teleporter we need to use in the consecrated snowfields. I'll mark it on the map. Before we can use that teleporter, however, we need to fight an NPC invader. Should be pretty easy to dispatch though. So I'm going to cut out the running to Mohg, but I will show the route that I took. It's basically going to take you to the area where the bird farm is, and then from there you just follow the road, but I'll show you on the map on screen. So Mohg has high fire resistance, so you're not going to want to use fire incantations against him. You really don't need to use any incantations with the Rivers of Blood. I went ahead and used lightning incantations though. If you'd like, you can follow what I'm doing and equip our Gravelstone Seal, memorize spell, and equip Ancient Dragon Lightning Strike. Definitely, I went and equipped the Purifying Crystal tier, which we got in part 1. I have it paired with the Thorny Crack tier. So I have the Thorny Crack tier and the Purifying Crystal tier. This is up to you. You can keep the Faith tier in there if you'd like, or you can use the same physic that I used. Now without the Faith tier, we won't be able to put on Howl of Shabriri. However, we have the Faith Talisman, the 2 Fingers Heirloom. You can equip that in any talisman slot right before you walk through the boss door, put on your buffs, and then swap that back out to the original talisman that you had. I swapped out the Lord of Bloods for the 2 Fingers, and then after I did my buffs, I switched back to the Lord of Blood's Exaltation. Also, don't forget to equip Mohg's Shackle, which we got from part 1 as well. This is going to immensely help you in this fight. You can only use it twice, however, before he completes his countdown and starts doing Nihil. So I get pretty beat up in this fight, mainly because I was just trying to mix in lightning incantations. Do whatever works for you. However, the main strategy is to watch out for the Blood Flame. In both phases, phase 1 and phase 2, he scatters Blood Flame all over the ground, which causes blood loss buildup, and it also does fire damage to you. So be careful with that. This right here was a mistake on my part. I should not have casted that second cast of Ancient Dragon's Lightning Strike. Instead, I should have used my second charge on the Shackle and then started attacking him again. So don't make the same mistake I did. So down goes Mohg, and that's going to be the last remembrance boss that I take down. I'm going to level up and put 4 points into Faith. After this, I am going to fight one more field boss, the Knights Cavalry Duo in the Consecrated Snowfields, mainly just to get one more point in Faith. That's going to put us at 33 Faith. If you wanted to continue this character and use this in New Game Plus 2, I would recommend putting 10 more points into Dexterity and one more point into Mind or Endurance. This will give you level 200, and if you're capping yourself at level 200, those would be the recommended stats I would say for level 200. And after we level up here, that's going to be the end of the video. We're just going to go to a duplication mausoleum, and I'm going to show you that we beat 14 out of 15 remembrance bosses. Thank you so much for watching the video. Thanks for everybody's support and encouragement. Be ready for my next guide. I'm going to be putting out a beginner OP guide for Eleonora's Pole Blade. It's going to be a surprising one. It's not going to be what you would traditionally think when you think of that weapon. It's definitely been a fun one to put together though. Again, like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below. Thank you so much. We'll see you on the next one. Bye.